A variable in PHP is an item that contains a piece of data, and variable in PHP can keep a lot of data such as name of a person, metric number of a student, record of a customer, and many more. So PHP is considered as a loose type language, meaning that if you declare a variable, then that variable can contain any type of data. Unlike any other programming language, so when you declare the variable, you must sign this variable with a particular data type such as integer, float, string, array, and etc. But in PHP, you don't need to declare or assign a specific data type for that particular variable. In PHP, when you want to declare a variable, you have to use the $sign. In PHP, the variable names are considered to be case sensitive, meaning that when you declare the variable, you have to use exactly the same case when you want to call for that variable. I'm going to open Sublime Text to type my variable with the PHP code. In the Sublime Text, I've already created it earlier, so just put it back in the Sublime Text. This is my variable. First variable is called name. I start with $sign followed up by the variable name, and I want name to contain a string called Walter. Then later on I want to display the variable name, and then I have two more variables, which is num1 and num2. Num1 will contain an integer which is 10, and num2 also is going to contain another integer which is 15. And then I have another variable called multiply, and multiply will multiply num1 and num2, and I want multiply to be displayed inside the browser. When I have all these variables declared inside my PHP, I can save the file. My file name is chapter 8 variables. Now I can open my browser. Next I can access my file, which is chapter 8 variables, this one .php. And then when I enter my variable, which is Walter, it's going to display, and multiply, which is multiply the two numbers 10 and 15, is going to get 150. A variable can be concatenate, meaning that you can combine two or more variables together so that this variable can become much more meaningful. For instance, let's say you have a two variable. The first variable is your first name and the second variable is your last name. So when you concatenate these two variables, the first name and last name, then it can become your full name, which is your name and your father's name. And in PHP, we can concatenate or combine variables by using period. Let's apply variable concatenation in the Sublime Text. Now I have already two variables in my file, my PHP file, which is Walter and multiply. Now I want to concatenate these two variables. So what I can do is that I can make another echo. The first echo, I can put the variable over here, which is name, and period follow up by another variable, which is multiply. And I want to have another string between these two variables. So what I can do is that I can make the string something like this. So I want to make something like Walter has at this point. So I want to have a break over here. this one also I want to have another break, sorry, over here. And so far I'm satisfied with this one. I just Control S to save the file and open back my browser, this one. So when I refresh, I am going to get something like this. Walter is the variable for name, 150 is a variable for multiply, and then I have Walter has 150, which is this one. I make a concatenation between the first variable and the second variable. I'm going to skip the string length and word wrap, so I'm going to focus on operator, because for me operator is much more important as compared than string length and also word wrap. For your information, there are several types of operator that are available in PHP, and one of the main operator is the arithmetic operator. This is something that you can find with the symbol, which is plus, minus, multiply, division, and modulus. If you can recall back your Java class, so this is almost similar to what you can find in Java, but not only in Java, but with other programming language also. Now let's go back to our Sublime Text. I want to show you how to make operators in the Sublime Text. First of all, I have a file called chapter 8 operators, this one, and now I want to add some coding for these operators. First of all, I want to have a h1 first. Okay, so this is arithmetic operators. Then later on I want to have a PHP over here. Okay, now I have my PHP, and then now I can type my PHP variable. Let's say I have a num1 is equal to 10 and num2 is equal to, let's say, 18. Okay, and then I have another one. I call it as a add number is equal to num1 plus num2. Then I want to display num1 and num2, so I can make an echo. I set the total is okay, and then I have a string concatenation, and then I have a add num, so I can make it better, this one. And if I want to display the two variable, I can make another echo, and then I set over here number 1 is equal to, and then dot num1 and echo second one number 2 is equal to dot num2, and over here I have to have a break. Okay, this one also I have to have a break. Well, it should be okay for me. Then I can save my file, then I can open my browser. I call it as a chapter 8 operators, okay, .php. Okay, and then this is the result. If I want to add another arithmetic operator in this file, so what I can do is that I can have another operation. Let's say this one I want to have multiply operator. I make a variable first, new variable called multiply is equal to num1 times num2. Next, I can display it. Let's say that the multiplication of two number is, and then I make another one, and I make a string concatenation. Say this is multiply. So over here I don't want it to be in the same line, so I can make another break over here. Okay, should be okay for me. I save my file first, and if I open my browser, I refresh, and this is the result for multiplication for number 1 and number 2.